way. Da 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 da. You came my way. Da 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 da. Da da. You hurt me every time I pray. Da 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 da. You gave me peace. Da 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 da. You gave me grace. Da 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 da. Da da. You put a smile on my face. You brought the sunshine. girls, I'm a little scratchy in the throat area, honey. I'm a little scratchy, but that's okay. That's okay. We're here to talk about the Clark Sisters movie over on Lifetime Daughters. Were you there? Were you there? Did you go and see the film? Go, and by go I mean go to the living room. Now, personally, a lot of you may know I've recently moved 5 hours away from my mother's home. And so I drove the 5 hours this weekend, honey, popped into the city, and we drove across town again, honey, and popped over to my grandmama's house. We took pizza and chicken wings, and me and my mama and my grandmama and granddaddy sat up in that living room, honey, and watched the film. We watched the film. Did you enjoy it? I enjoyed it. Now, I do have a few little critiques, just a few. But we're going to go through the movie, and I'll tell you what I feel when I feel it. You know, disregard the hair, honey. I know I'm looking like, honey, a country western singer, but that's not what's important here. Honey, we're doing gospel today. We're not doing Dolly Parton. I may call y'all about Dolly Parton next week. I may. Honey, or June Carter Cash, because you know those are my girls. But anyway, the Clark Sisters. Elbert Clark, I don't know if you're living or dead. I presume dead. That's what I presume. You shouldn't have never had to beat Maddie like that. You shouldn't have never had to do that. And you didn't have to do that. You shouldn't have never took it upon yourself to beat that woman like that. That was disrespectful. And it was rude. And that's why they don't talk about you. That's why they don't talk about you. We ain't never heard the girl say nothing about Elbert. Ever. I mean, I'm sure somebody has heard it somewhere, but I ain't never heard it. I never seen it. Anyway, different situation. Yeah, Pastor Elbert Clark. I didn't care for that. I didn't care for him feeling like a strong woman somehow diminished him as a man. That's weak. That's weak, Elbert. Now, it's weak. Dr. Maddie Moss Clark having to hide her gold record so daddy won't see him. Wouldn't have been no daddy. Wouldn't have been no such thing. Which me and Elbert wouldn't have got along, honey, because I'm not hiding my accomplishments to make you feel better about yourself, girl. That's just not who I am. That's not what I do. That's not it. That's not me. That's not me, Elbert. You couldn't have married me, Elbert, honey, because you tried to beat me and I'd beat you right back. All right? All right. And then he slapped, who he slapped? Jackie. He slapped Jackie. Now, why, Elbert, would you slap Jackie? We love Jackie. Slapped her. The disrespect that he put on Dr. Clark and Jackie Chisholm Clark's name and face, I didn't like. I didn't like that. What else popped off in the movie? The girls sang down. You know they did. Honey, the actresses that played the girls, Kiara, come sit over here next to, I was finna say auntie, but you older than me. Come sit next to niece and let's talk. Kiara, when I first saw you act, it was a movie called The Preacher's Kid starring Tank and LaToya Luckett. It was a terrible movie and you did a terrible job. No shade. I love Kiara down boots. Her role was not very significant and the movie was bad. All the acting was bad, so I'm not singling Kiara out, but when I heard Kiara was gonna play her mama, I said that's the best thing that they could have done for Kiara, because if you can't play nobody else, you can play the person you've known for 30-some years. Thank God. And Kiara, you ate it. You ate it up. Ate it up. Ate it up. I was so proud. I was so proud. Now, those of you that know me know I've been a Kiara stan since before her first album, but definitely her first album. I've been a stan. Love the girl. Love her down. We just didn't talk about her acting prior to this. We didn't say nothing about it. It was very hush-hush. You know, we acted like we didn't see her in that movie. A lot of y'all didn't see her in that movie or didn't know that was her. But I'm very proud to say now that Kiara Sheard is an actress. She's an actress. She ate it up. The rest of the girls, I don't know anybody else's name except Raven Goodwin. Raven, you ate up your role too, but I got to talk about Denise here in a little bit. We'll get around to Denise. But yeah, the rest of the girls, everybody ate it up. Ate it up. Very, very good. Very good. What else happened in the plot, honey? Now, mind you, I have grown up all of my born days coaching. So Dr. Maddie Moss Clark was not news to me. This was not a surprise to me. None of this, except Elbert whooping her in the face. Honey, that was a surprise to me, having her hair all disheveled. Speaking of, side note, hold on just a minute. Let me take a moment and give Aunjanue Ellis her prize. Now, y'all know, if y'all watch me on the channel, I've loved Aunjanue for all my born days. Not the whole born days, but all the days of my life that I've known about Aunjanue Ellis, I have loved in her. That's my girl. You know, when I slide over into Hollywood and write myself a show, I want her in the show. I want her playing the mama. You know, I need Aunjanue Ellis in my life because she eats every time she's on the camera, and she made no exceptions on Night 4 Last. And she made no exceptions. She sat there and just sat at the table and ate that role. She was Dr. Maddie Moss Clark all over again. All over again. Now, I was saying that I grew up Kojic. My grandmama and my mama grew up Kojic, and my grandmama and my mama both took after Dr. Maddie Moss Clark and were the music presidents in the Kojic church. Not on Dr. Maddie Moss Clark's scale, because she was the music president of the international church. I don't know if it had gone international by the time, you know, she was, you know, when she was there. But she was the music president. My mom and grandma, of course, were the music president for the state. For the state, it's different. But they both took after her. My grandmama is just like her. If my grandmama see you chewing gum, she's coming from wherever to get that gum out of your mouth. Honey, she will drop out the sky with a tissue telling you to get that gum out your mouth. Dr. Maddie Moss Clark and my grandmother are very similar. Very similar. Attitudes, behaviors. Sing this part. Do-do-do-do. That's your note. Sing your note. Very that. Growing up, that was my experience growing up. Now, my grandmama and mama didn't wake me up out of my sleep, I don't think, to sing my note. Actually, I think my mother has awakened me out of my sleep to help her with, you know, getting the music ready for the church. Honey, get up. I got to sing this. Give me the soprano line. I'm gonna sing alto. Come on. You know, it was very that. It's been very that all my life. Very that, honey. So I'm the Denise. If you hadn't guessed, I'm the Denise of the family, honey. Don't look at this. Don't look at this. It's a little thin, I think. I'm trying it out. I'm trying it. Honey, we got quarantine styles. I wasn't able to go and really pick out what I'm trying to do for my look. But anyway, whatever. But yeah, very. Come over here. Let's sit next to this keyboard. I'm gonna play this note and you sang it. Very that growing up. All of that. That was my life. Twinkie. I guess I'll go by sister. Let's go by sister. Let's go age-wise. Let's go to Jackie. First of all, where was the brother? Where was Leo? Where was Leo Cullum? He didn't make it in the movie. I know the movie is the Clark Sisters, but they got a brother. We was at the house. We saw the daddy. We didn't see the brother. That's one of the bones I have to pick. Where was the brother? We telling the true biographical story of the Clark Sisters. We showed all 5 of the Clark Sisters, which I was very happy that they, you know, addressed Denise, because I didn't know if they would. Where's the brother? It's just like when they, you know, inevitably make the Braxton's biopic, you know, for the whole family, not just Tony. I'm gonna want to see Michael Jr. in the movie. Where was Leo? Anyway, starting with Jackie. Now, Jackie was the caretaker of the family. She was the older sister. For some reason, Denise and Jackie had this little battle royale going on where Jackie was the oldest daughter, but Denise was the oldest Clark. So Denise felt like she was that girl because she was the oldest Clark. That's weird to me. That's very weird. I come from a type of, you know, family, both sides of my family, mama side and daddy side. There's no such thing as a half sibling. We don't know what that is. This your brother, this your sister. It don't matter that you know your mama and their mama is different than your daddy, and that don't matter. This your brother, this your sister. We don't do a lot of half nothing. So that was very strange to me, with Denise bucking up to the girls talking about I'm, you know, the oldest Clark, and so I have to say, when you got an older sister, I didn't understand. Now, I've heard Denise talk before, and I've heard her say out of her own human mouth that she is the oldest Clark. So I feel like, you know, that wasn't fabricated. That wasn't a thing. I feel like Denise did book up to Jackie talking about being the oldest Clark, and I just don't understand. It don't make sense to me. It really doesn't. Jackie was the caretaker. Jackie is the nurse, honey. She had done went down and got her little nursing degree, little job as a nurse. Now, according to Denise, she don't have a degree. According to Denise, we don't know. I ain't never checked her records, but she had worked as a nurse for a long time, so maybe the paperwork don't even matter. But she had done went and got her little nursing job, honey, just in case this music thing didn't pop off, and I think that's wise. She the only sister that was like, you know what? Let me slide over here and give me a practical job, honey, where I can wear pants. Child, she wearing pants. Her mom, she done walked up to her mama house in pants. Her Kojic mama, old school Kojic mama, she done walked over to her house, drove over to her house in a pair of pants. Lord, I never. She had to go out to the car, get her a skirt. She had to. Yeah, Denise, Jackie was the nurse. She, met, what was his name, Lord? Greg, I don't remember. God rest his soul, he very recently passed away. And we're praying her strength. I know, this has been difficult for her. But she met her husband. I guess they worked together, and they got married, and they was married up until this year or late last year. They was married the whole time. Moving along to Denise. Denise had a bunch of babies at a wedlock. Denise started having babies while the group was rising, honey. Denise. We see her sneaking in and out the house, coming in at all types of hours, honey. And then for some reason, this was very confusing to me, because Denise, you had the freedom to come in and out your mama's house at all hours of the night, and your mama just come downstairs and say, look at you coming in at all hours of the night. Like, and you tell your mama that you ain't got no freedom. Like, ma'am, you was out here making all these babies. What more freedom did you need? Like, I really want to sit down with Denise, because I understand that they didn't take her account at all from the movie. That's my understanding. So what they said about her in the movie is not what she would say, probably. That's the girl's experience, not Denise's experience. Not saying Denise ain't one of the girls. Y'all know what I'm saying. So I would like to sit down and have a chit chat with Denise and understand, like, was that how you were? Is that how you are today? Like, ma'am, you had the freedoms, because while you were still in the group, you had 3 babies. You was out here doing your thing, Miss Thing. Like, I'm confused. What else were you trying to do? I didn't understand. But yeah, Denise kept getting pregnant, honey, and then finally her mama told her, girl, enough. Or did her mama tell her that, or did she just leave? I don't even remember, because I wasn't paying close attention to Denise's storyline, because I knew Denise didn't say anything about it. Like, this wasn't Denise telling her story. This was her sisters telling her story for her, or their experience of her story. And so I didn't pay a lot of attention to Denise's storyline. Dorinda, she randomly got engaged and married to her husband. They still together too. They didn't really go into Dorinda that much. She was just there. She's just sitting there. They showed her being the preaching heifer that she is. No shade. I don't mean heifer in a shady way. But Dorinda is that preaching girl. Dorinda is that preaching girl, honey. I've seen her preach live. I sang behind her, honey. Dorinda preaches down. I think Dorinda's the only Clark sister that I have had the pleasure of singing the doo-wops for. I believe she is. Anyway, moving on. Yeah, they didn't give Dorinda a lot. And that was strange to me, because it was the Clark sisters movie, but they spent a lot of time on Dr. Mattie Moss Clark, but then they didn't tell a lot of Dr. Mattie Moss Clark's story. It was kind of all over the place just a little bit. It was still very good. Moving on down to Karen. Karen is shy. Karen's shy today. If you walk up to Karen Clark, today, she's shy. She's very soft-spoken, very quiet, very shy. And Kiara ate it up. Kiara ate up the shy naivete of her mother, in that time. She was very just quiet, soft-spoken, and the baby. She was the baby. And Kiara did that. She really did. In the movie, we had we really kind of didn't see how Dr. Mattie Moss Clark decided to take the girls and have them be in a singing, not be in a singing group, but be a recording group, be recording artists. Like, all of a sudden they was just in the studio with Bill, Dr. Moss's brother, Bill Moss, who is Jay Moss's father. They was just in the studio singing. It was just like, okay, who made the conscious decision that they should start singing? Because we had a moment where I think it was Jackie told her mama, they say if your song is on the radio, you're not saved. So how did Dr. Moss come to the conclusion that her children should be on the radio? I ain't see that. I ain't see none of that. At some point they was at the Grammys. They asked their mama to do the Grammys with them. She got up there, honey, and hallelujah down. Hallelujah, hallelujah. Y'all to be glad about it. We love a hallelujah. We love hallelujah. We sing that all the time, constantly. But the mama was up there for some reason. The bishops had done gathered together, honey, and tried to kick her out the church. Not kick her out the church, but kick her out of her position in the church. They tried to take her music president title. And she said, no. She said, and I am telling you, I'm not going. Like, she just didn't leave. basically. And they told her, you know, you can stay on the condition that you don't perform with your daughters anymore. And I'm like, okay, so number one, which one of y'all saved heifers was watching the Grammys? Which one of you saved heifers was watching the Grammys to know that Dr. Maddie Moss Clark was on the Grammys singing the gospel? Which one of you saved heifers was doing it, if that was a sin? Who? Whom? I want names, I want addresses, I want social security numbers. Who was it? Somebody had to see it to tell it. Moving along. Number two, why is it that Dr. Clark couldn't sing with the girls, but the girls could come to y'all's church functions and sing down? Sing down. I don't understand. So the Clark sisters could be on the Grammys singing and carrying on. They could be on the radio singing and carrying on. They come back to the coaching convention, come back to the convocation, honey, the women's conference, UNAC, which is what AIM was back in the day, and sing all the way down to the ground, and everybody standing up, clapping, and girl, you better, yes, come on, like we do. But Dr. Clark couldn't sing with her children? That's weird. I don't understand. How is it that the children were allowed to go and do and sing? And that's another thing. That's another point I want to bring up. My mother and grandmother have told me all of my life, about the time that the Clark sisters sang at the Coors Festival, the beer festival. The Clark sisters went and sang You Brought the Sunshine at the secular festival, and the church was up in arms. Why we didn't see that in the movie? I don't understand. I didn't see any pushback in the movie from the church towards the Clark sisters. Now, I know we want to kind of sprinkle niceties and make everything all lovely and beautiful and do, but we got to be honest about the church. We got to be honest about the church. I can say this because I'm a member. Honey, born and raised, Kojic, Church of God in Christ. Same church from the movies. Same thing. That's me. I can talk about us. I needed to have seen a little more pushback from the church towards the Clark sisters and not just Dr. Maddie Moss Clark. We need to be realistic about what's going on. Kojic people are hard. Kojic people have very, very little grace for the secular world. They starting to get it now. They starting to kind of come on with it a little bit now. But the history of the church, the 112 years or so of the church, I can't count right now. I'm driving, honey. I can't count drive. Y'all want me to have an accident? The history of the church is that the Kojic church holds themselves to a standard that to everybody else look crazy. To everybody else, it seems strange. Honey, the church is hard. The Kojic church is hard. Okay? Hunty. But anyway, I really needed to see a little more pushback from the church because that's what happened. Let's talk about what happened. You know, whenever I do my biographical picture, it's coming. Give me about 20, 30 years. It'll be on Lifetime. When I do, because I'm not going to do like Fantasia. And as soon as I win American Idol, have my life story on the movie. Honey, and then live 10, 12 more years and have 10, 12 more years of drama. Now is the time for Fantasia's life story. Or maybe 10 more years from now. Honey, she done had some stuff go on. Plenty of stuff has gone on. Anyway, we're not talking about Fantasia. Where was Fantasia? I didn't see her tweet about the movie at all. I got to look. But yeah, let's be realistic. When I do my biography, I'm going to be as realistic as humanly possible. And the people in the church and the things of the church that have hurt me is just going to be out there. And I'm sorry. And if y'all want to kick me out of the church, that's a true shame. It's a true shame. I'll be very sad and very hurt. And then I put it in my documentary part 2. They kicked me out of the church. Part 2. Anyway, but I just can't deal with a lot of we glossing over things. I'm not a gloss overer. I'm not a glosser overer. That's not my testimony. That's not me. The funeral or Dr. Clark getting sick. They didn't really talk about that much. They showed that she had diabetes and she was in there eating chips, and Jackie saw something was going on with her foot, took her to the hospital, and then she went to glory, pretty much. It was strange to me. In the movie, she was up and about and doing and carrying on, and then they went to commercial break, and when it came back, she was on a cane. Just all of a sudden, she on a cane. Like, okay? Just she on a cane. Then next thing you know, she's sitting in the living room eating chips, watching TV, done bought Jackie a pair of pants, and I was confused. I was like, Lord, does she know she's going to glory? Why she bought these pants? Was it a joke? I didn't understand. Anyway, Jackie saw something was wrong with her foot. They took her to the hospital. Then next thing we know, we saw that she had, I think both of her feet were amputated. Another story that I have heard all of my born days, all of my being alive, and all of my growing up is the story of how my grandmother and mother sang with Dr. Clark in the choir, and they wheeled her in a wheelchair. She had a foot, I think it was a leg, like up to the knee, and an arm amputated, and she had a stroke, and she still directed the choir. Why we didn't see that in the movie? We didn't see that in the movie. She got sick and then she died. That's not how it went. She got sick, she kept directing. She got sicker, she kept directing. Had her limbs removed, she kept directing. One arm, one leg, in the wheelchair, had a stroke, she kept directing. I wanted to see that in the movie. I wanted to see that. I wanted to see her tenacity, because they showed her tenacity in the beginning, and then they kept softening her down. They kept softening her down, and by the end of the movie, she was applesauce, where before she had been, you know, a medium well steak. By the end of the movie, she was applesauce, and that's just not how she was presented to the people. Maybe that's how the Clark sisters felt in their personal lives. But I can assure you, my mama and grandmama were so in awe of her tenacity and her getting out there with one arm, one leg, and had a stroke, and still directing the choir. And what did the girls do? Sang. They got up there and, I can do all things through Christ that strengthens me. You know, they sing down because Dr. Moss was up there, and you don't want to disappoint Dr. Moss. She'll throw something. You know, she took off that shoe and threw it. My grandma and mama, you know, when she came to our home church, she threw a hymnal. You know, I've heard that all my life. Dr. Moss would throw something. She would take the gum out your mouth. She, you know, was this vibrant personality all the way up until she died. All the way. And I just kind of didn't see that in the movie. They kept softening her down. And I guess that's how she was at home. But when she got out in front of the people, honey, when she was doing her workshops, she was that girl. And I really wanted to see a little bit more of that. I didn't talk about Twinkie. I didn't realize how disappointed I would be in Twinkie, and I commend her very much for putting her truth in that movie, because it pains me. It really does hurt me to say I was disappointed in Twinkie Clark. It just, I never thought I would say something like that. I never did, but I was disappointed, truly disappointed. And I understand she played for her mother. She never had an opportunity to do anything else. She played for her mama since she was 9. She never really got to do anything. You know, she barely graduated high school. You know, fooling with her mama, no shade. Playing for her mama, going all across the country, and that's a wonderful experience to have, but she didn't have any balance. She didn't have a home work life balance. You know, her daddy said at some point in the movie, she don't know how to cook, she don't know how to clean. The girl, all she can do is play. And I feel like her mother kind of handicapped her in a way. And so when she found a man that paid her a little attention, like her mama said, first man pay you any attention, you want to run off and marry him. And she did. And to me, that wasn't the worst part about it. You know, the worst part about it was this man, which after she decided to marry him, came over to her mama's house with her. And they were getting ready to get on the road and go to South Carolina. They hadn't told their mama, her mama, they was going that far. That's crazy to me. You ain't told your mama you moving to South Carolina from Detroit. Anyway, they were getting ready to get on the road. They were going to say goodbye to the mama. And at some point, things got a little rowdy. Dr. Clark didn't want Twinkie to go. And John, the husband, pushes Dr. Clark. Now the woman's on a cane, and he pushed her down, and she hit the ground pretty much, the stairs. And Twinkie still went off and married him and had a baby, and or maybe they were married at the time, but she still went with him. El Bonita. I was so disappointed. I was hurt. I was genuine. I was so disappointed, because let anybody, man, woman, or child, talk to my mama crazy, raise their voice at my mama. I'm climbing in that window and I'm stabbing them in the neck while they sleep, pushing my mama down. Y'all know I never. Y'all know I absolutely never. There was nothing I could do. I never. Like, my mama had a boss one time. Her name was Peaches. Put her name out there and everything, because I don't see it for her. Peaches, if you're watching, I still don't see it for you. And if I see you coming around, I heard you tried to add my mama on Facebook, and girl, try my mama one more time. I'm coming for you, I promise. Now, my mama had a boss named Peaches. They were actually friends from back in the day. They grew up together. And somehow Peaches found some malice in her heart for my mama and tried my mama to the point where my mother was bedridden because her back went out. When my mother gets very stressed, you know, her back and stuff goes out, and honey, she just be in the bed. No truck, you can't come over here. Let me get by you first. You wait for me to get by you, and you can come over and you can be in this lane all you want to. What was I finna say? Yeah, Peaches tried my mama, had my mama in the bed, honey. She was just laid over in the bed, just suffering. And so I asked the Lord, I said, Lord, bring Peaches to me. Bring Peaches to me. I'm gonna cuss her out, get it out my system. That's all I want to do. What did the Lord do? I'm out with my sister. We was at Walmart, honey, at like 1 o'clock in the morning. Ain't had no reason to run across Peaches, but Peaches was in there. I called her name, her legal name. She tried to wave. I said, don't wave at me. And I cussed her from here to there. I said, my mama is sick because of you, and if she dies, I'm breaking in your house and I'm murdering you. I said it. I said it. I sure did. So the point is, if Peaches had ever laid a finger on my mama, Peaches would not be here today, and neither would I, because I'd be in jail. And that's that on that. John, burn in hell. Moving on to the funeral. The funeral. I didn't like the funeral scene. I didn't like the portrayal of the funeral. Number one, they made it look it was very small scale to what the actual funeral was. Very small scale. Like, it was so few people in the movie funeral. Like, girl, y'all rented out this one church and that's all y'all could do. Okay, well, that's all you can do. That's all you can do. The scene with Denise. This is why I give Denise a lot of credibility. I give her a lot of credibility because everybody's experiences are different, and the way she experienced things and the way she has talked about experiencing things, you know, the interviews and stuff I heard before the movie, I was very leery about how they would portray her in this movie because they don't have a relationship. Denise and the rest of the sisters don't really talk like that. So I was leery about how they would portray her. I heard some people on Twitter talking about how they made her a dark-skinned heifer and tried to villainize the dark-skinned heifer. I don't know if it goes that far. I really don't. I don't know if they were trying to get actors of the same skin tone or of the same body type. I'm not sure where we were going, because the character that played Twinkie, I think she was darker than Twinkie was. You know, the Raven Goodwin who played Denise, she was quite a few shades darker than the real Denise, but whatever, she played Denise. It's like that time Flex Alexander played Michael Jackson and they put some baby powder on him and said, go forth. It was terrible. Terrible. I don't know why they did that. Or that time Zoe Saldana played Nina Simone. Terrible. This one is terrible. So I don't know if it goes as far as them trying to villainize the darker skinned characters in the movie, because I personally I don't think it went that far. I know all the dark skinned people in the movie kind of were a little villainous, but Dr. Melody Mars Clark was like that. Like, not saying she was a villain, but she was tough like that. Albert was on the darker side. I don't know him. I can't speak for him. And then them making Denise darker, I don't know. Y'all tell me how y'all feel about that in the comments. I'm not sure if that's what they were trying to do or not. I would imagine not, since, you know, Missy Elliott was one of the producers on the movie, and Mary J. Blige, and they on the browner side of the paper bag. I don't think that's what they were trying to do. I think it may have just turned out that way. But whatever. The funeral. I was very disappointed in the funeral scene, because in the movie they made it seem like Denise bust in from the back of the church with her 7 sons, honey, and got up into the microphone. Now, mind you, this was a black Kojic funeral. There would have never been a time where the microphone was unattended and they was just sitting there being quiet, unless this was before the funeral when they was viewing the body. It might have been what they was trying to say. This was the viewing the body time. Maybe that's what they were saying. Girl, I done crossed over to Texas. I ain't realized it. I'm in Texas. I ain't knowed it. Yeehaw. What was I finna say? Yeah, there wouldn't have been a time at a black Kojic funeral for a black Kojic icon that the mic would have been unattended, where Denise Clark could have walked in from the bike of the church with her 7 sons and just walked up to this unattended microphone. Would not have happened. Would not have happened. I have been to 100 Kojic funerals for bishops, dignitaries. Honey, I've been to multitudes of Kojic funerals for lay people, lay members of the church, just folks. I've been to them. There's not a time. We have a program, honey. From this time to this time, we'll be doing this. From this time to this time, we'll be doing that. The choir will come with an A and B selection. Y'all view the body. They'll carry the body on out, and we'll have the repast in the bike. They got chicken dinners. It just wouldn't. It wouldn't have been a time where Denise could have just walked up to an empty mic and started talking about, you know, my mama wouldn't have wanted y'all to be sitting in here. Not at the empty microphone. No, it wouldn't have happened. Furthermore, I've seen the footage of the funeral, the actual footage of the actual funeral with the actual Denise. They introduced her. They gave her a moment to come up there and speak on her mother. They introduced her. They said, the man said, the mister of ceremonies, the master of ceremonies, got up there and said, we will now have Denise Clark say a few words about her mama, or however he phrased it. Like, she didn't just run up there and start talking crazy about her mama. She didn't. Now, maybe she did talk crazy. You know, the clip that I saw was kind of chopped and screwed a little bit. But I also did not see Karen and Dorinda and Twinkie and Jackie drag her off the stage. I didn't see that part either. What I saw in the clip was she got through talking, she went and hugged a couple people, and then I guess she went and sat back down. I don't know. I saw her off screen, you know, hugging a few people. That's what I saw. That funeral scene was fictitious, and I feel like it was untruthful as far as the Denise part. I really did. Also, I know they were estranged, but them not letting Denise in that first car with the rest of the sisters didn't sit well in my spirit. That didn't sit well in my spirit. That was her mama too. And let me tell you something. I don't have 4 sisters and a brother. I don't. I don't have 4 sisters and a brother. But what I do know for sure, on my mama's side, what I do know for sure is that if anybody tries to tell me I can't ride where I want to ride in a funeral procession, we're not having a funeral procession. I'm flattening all the tires on the limousines. I'm putting sugar in the gas tank. We ain't going nowhere. Me and my mama body gonna sit right here till I get to ride where I want to ride. Same goes for my grandma. Me and my grandmama body gonna sit right here. And that's that. Anyway, I done got mad. During the movie, I did cry because I didn't want my mama to die, and I got very emotional about it. And my mother did have to hold and console me because I got very worked up. I just, whoo, honey, I couldn't take it. I couldn't take it. They did show Dorinda get up on the bridge, honey. She was about to jump, but then the Lord told her don't jump, and she didn't. And we thank God for Jesus. Let me see. Twinkie had a little nervous breakdown. We all do. It's okay. We all have our nervous breakdowns. It's fine. She came out of it. But you know, Twinkie wasn't there when her mother died. Twinkie nor Denise were there when her mother died. And the scene in the hospital where Dr. Moss was getting ready to pass and she sent the girls out, she was telling the doctor, you know, that you know, these are 3 of my girls. I got 2 more coming, and they didn't make it. So that shook up Twinkie. I feel like that would have shaken up Denise as well. And I feel like they didn't give her, you know, people grieve differently. People feel different ways about certain things. And maybe Denise's way of being here now, instead of, you know, not being there when the mom was dying, was wanting to ride in the first car with the sisters and maybe reminisce about the mom. And they tried to deny her that, or they did deny her that. And I ain't like that. I really did not. I did like Karen getting rowdy though. I really did like that. It was funny to me hearing Kiara speak in her mom's tone, because Kiara's voice is deeper than her mom. Not a lot, you know, it's not a vast difference, but it's different enough that you could tell Kiara was putting on her mom's voice. And I liked it. I liked Kiara's portrayal of her mom. I've said it already, but I'm gonna say it again. And when Karen was giving, you know, try me and find out, Denise, I will lay you out, I was tickled. I really was. I know I wasn't supposed to be tickled because I was feeling for the girls. They had just lost their mama and I was crying, but I was tickled. that was pretty much it. You know, Karen got sick. You know, she had her 2% chance. I remember that very well. We were all praying for her, and then she came back out with her album 2%, honey, after she had done got healed. I did not realize that her sickness, like her getting sick and falling into that coma and having that 2% chance of life, I did not realize that that was due to a weight loss surgery. But she lost that weight, baby. Honey, Karen had done come back looking skinty. I'm not saying everybody needs to go and have surgery and fall into a coma and nearly die, because 2% is dead. Honey, if you got a 2% chance to live, honey, you gone already. So I'm not telling everybody to get on that go to glory weight loss plan. I'm not telling anybody to get on that go to glory weight loss plan. But Miss Thing did come back very snatched. She was svelte, honey. She was svelte. Baby, she was thin boots. But I remember that. I remember when she was in the coma. I remember us praying her out the coma, child, and rejoicing when she got up and praising God when she came out with that album, 2%. I went down to the Circuit City with my mama and we bought that album. Sure did. Right at that Circuit City. Ooh, I'm old, my God. So after Karen got healed, honey, and delivered and set free and brought on over, she got the girls back together. And they've been singing off and on together and separate ever since. And that was it. I really wanted them to address finally, Karen's first solo album. Nothing but a work of art. Nothing but a masterpiece. Don't get me started on Jesus Is a Love Song. I keep hearing, I can't do it right now, this melody in my ear. I keep feeling this presence so near. Music so sweet. Child, don't get me started. Don't get me started. That is my favorite Clark Sisters song. And when Karen gets to me, I can hold it longer, but my voice is going in and out because I'm trying not to scream and, honey, blow y'all out like Dr. Moss would have said. Honey, they blew it out. I was trying not to blow it out, though. I was trying not to blow it out. But it took me the first 11, 12, 13 years of my life of listening to Jesus Is a Love Song constantly to be able to hold that note. But I can hold that full note, that to me, that Karen gives the girls. I can hold it. Whole thing. Anyway, I wish they would have covered Karen going solo. Jackie put out an album. They ain't talking about that, child. It was a lot more in there. I really wish it was like a 3-night series. My grandma was like, to cover everything, it would have had to been a 3-night, mini-series. I wish they had done it. I wish they would have talked more about Dr. Clark's success before the girls' success. All of that. I wish all of that would have been brought up. But it was still an excellent movie. If you ain't seen it, go see it. I recommend it highly. And that's all I got, really. If I forgot anything, drop it down in the comments. I may do a part 2, or I may just talk about it with y'all in the comments. Did you like it? Did you see it? How'd you feel about it? Drop it down and we will chat. Anyway, I'm gonna drive this last 2.5 more hours and I'll see y'all when I see you. Peace.